Have you ever wondered how your body naturally repairs and rejuvenates itself? It all comes down to your stem cells, your body's built-in repair system that renews tissue, restores balance, and helps you feel your best. But by age 30, you have up to 90% fewer stem cells in circulation. That's where StemRegen comes in. Founded by stem cell scientist and health pioneer Christian Drapeau, StemRegen products are designed to support your body's natural repair system by using science-backed, plant-based extracts. Just 2 capsules of StemRegen releases an average of 10 million of your own stem cells into your body. No injections, just 2 capsules. Empower your body to rejuvenate from within, whether you're focused on recovery, longevity, or just overall wellness. StemRegen can help release more of your health, more life, and more of the best version of you. Try it now at stemregen.co and use code POD15 for 15% off your first order. That's StemRegen, code POD15.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Do you like being educated on things that entertain but don't matter? Well, then you need to be listening to the podcast with Knox and Jamie. Every Wednesday, we put together an episode dedicated to delightful idiocy to give your brain a break from all the serious and important stuff.
Whether we're deep diving a classic movie, dissecting the true meanings behind the newest slang, or dunking on our own listeners for their bad takes or cringy stories, we always approach our topics with humor and just a little bit of side eye, and we end every episode with recommendations on all the best new movies, books, TV shows, or music.
To find out more, just search up the podcast with Knox and Jamie wherever you listen to podcasts and prepare to make Wednesday your new favorite day of the week.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Ace Show. My name is Troy McKeedy.
And I'm Darlene Sussman.
And this is part 2 of our first part 2.
What a part 2 it is.
Yeah, it definitely deserves it. We are continuing our conversation about Britney's Teen People, the special performance issue where teens name their favorite people that exist in the world of celebrity people, teen people, if you will. And there was just like way too much in this magazine to talk about to give it one episode. So here we are.
Yeah, especially because there wasn't really enough time to talk about the Julie from the Real World article. And to be quite frank, I was not going to let that pass us by.
Yeah, like it's just we both have so many Real World thoughts, and especially of Julie specifically.
Oh, of Julie.
Oh my God. And yeah, there's some other fun, like kind of kooky, silly stuff in this episode that you guys will enjoy.
Should we jump into it?
I think we should. All
right. Hell yeah. We're going to do a little letter to the editor because we already read some last week from the issue, but this week we have a listener letter to the editor that was left as a 5-star review on our Apple Podcasts page. Okay, it says, are you ready for this, Troy?
I'm ready.
Dear Troy and Dara, first of all, the pod is amazing and I LOL at every episode. Second, I have a list of things to discuss. Number 1, when I bought Playboys at the half price books, the old lady looked at me like I was disgusting. 2, I need you to discuss Willa Ford more. I feel like the only person who knows who she is. Maybe the Playboy issue she posed for starring Jessica Alba as the cover girl that she sued over. 3, as a Britney fan and magazine collector, y'all need to pick up the YM issue. It's so interesting and such a foreshadow. Sorry for being a chatty Cathy. Love y'all. Wow, that was a whirlwind.
No, that was awesome. And I will say, as somebody who collects Britney Spears magazines, I know that I've read the YM, but it's not one of those interviews that's like in the forefront of my mind. So that would be interesting to revisit because I don't really remember anything about it.
Yeah, all I remember from that issue, and I believe this is the issue that they're talking about, is where she's in like a bathtub full of diamonds, and it looks very much like her head was just poorly photoshopped onto a woman in a bathtub filled with diamonds.
Yeah, and like, oh yeah, she's holding the diamond over her eye, Illuminati style. Yeah, I do remember that. That was like a really big deal, that issue. It was about her being like successful and rich, right?
As opposed to every other profile.
It was like, well, she was on Forbes. It's official. Like, she's really fucking, like, it was like she was making a lot of money. Yeah, I want to read that. And also, we haven't done YM. Like, I want to talk about YM for sure.
Yeah, YM's a great one. I feel like it's a bit of a deep cut, but it was so important to the landscape, the editorial landscape. And now to bring it over to Willa Ford.
Hello.
I feel like we have briefly discussed her, or maybe just like in our podcasting travels between the two of us, because there's one fact about her that I always think of, which is that her last name was Williford. I always forget her first name, but her last name's Williford, and they're like, Willa Ford.
Yeah.
And also now she's an interior designer, and I say, good for her.
Yeah, she's like really somebody who, if you were alive during that time, if you lived through Willa Ford, like having like the I want to be bad moment
through Willa Ford.
If you lived through her,
it was such a tumultuous time in history.
If you lived through her one like juggernaut summer fucking smash single that like for whatever reason just felt so unavoidable. Like I Want to Be Bad was just one of those like, we are all listening to this song. It's in every like advertisement. I think it's a song that lends itself also to being like clipped in like TV shows and stuff. So it was just like everywhere. And you couldn't tell me at that time that she wouldn't like have a long career. Like I did not peg her as a one-hit wonder.
No, yeah. And I feel like she brought the country together in a beautiful fashion, but then she just evaporated.
She's definitely the product of like now that I've done so much podcasting and like I do Beyond the Blinds and all this shit, like I'm like, girls like her, it's logistics. It has nothing to do with talent or like her not wanting to do it. It's like a bunch of men behind her fucking up contracts and, negotiations and money and things like, it's like, that's the reason that she didn't, continue.
Yeah. I also feel like, I don't know, it didn't exactly, and I don't know why I feel like this, like maybe her heart wasn't truly in it either. I feel like I've read some things where, I don't know, she didn't feel completely comfortable with fame and the sort of manufacturing of who they wanted her to be. I mean, well, listen, they're like, let's Willa Ford, like, they were just like, let's have a little porn star.
Yeah. I mean, it felt really seedy. It felt like, all right, like, I don't know how much she wants to be thrusting her vagina at the camera right now. Like, it just felt like she was being forced to do stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think to have a pole dancing video as your first video single is like asking a lot of a young lady.
They're like, she's Britney, but not pretending to be a virgin. She's fucked. You want to fuck her?
Because she'll let you. Oh, she'll let you.
She's done it before.
And she'll do it again.
She wants to be bad.
But, she makes it look so good.
It's so like, and it must be so weird to have that be your legacy, like a really throwaway, like sort of meaningless song that like meant nothing to you. They're like, yes, Willa Ford, if I Want to Be Bad. And she's like,
I feel like they're almost maybe trying to copy the Britney playbook of like, oh yeah, Baby One More Time. That was so sexy. Let's like go even further. She's pole dancing and it's like, no. We got to actually roll it back a little.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was like an adult woman. She was like not 15. She was like a grown woman. Like she gave Vitamin C vibes.
That is so true.
But thank you for sparking the conversation about Willa. I'm sure that there will be many more.
And you know what? I want you to march back to that Half Price bookstore. And I want you to look that old lady in the face and tell her to fuck off, love Troy and Dara.
Yes. And then walk away. And as you walk away, press play on I Want to Be Bad. That
yes.
Like, don't, ow,
ow.
Ow. What better song to like Shantae away to? So the first article that we wanted to talk about is on page 69, appropriately.
Hell yeah.
It's titled Star Woes, and it's celebrity embarrassing moments. And I just remember as a young person, like I loved pages like this in magazines with like weird throwaway quotes from famous people. Like one time I slipped on a banana peel and my thong was showing. Like I love shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, these feel a little bit tame, but gosh, Julia Stiles. In the 8th grade, I was on the school basketball team. During a championship game, I was making a fast break, but I dribbled the wrong way and shot at the wrong basket. Luckily, I missed, but everyone was screaming, "What are you doing?" I burst into tears because all the boys were watching.
That was a really good Julia Stiles.
Thank you. You know what it was? I just didn't think. I just let her speak through me.
Yeah. That was your last showgirl moment.
Yes.
That was good. Let's see. We also have one from Katherine Heigl, who's known to be very, very agreeable on sets.
I have a question about that. Actually, I want your opinion. I have been a huge Grey's Anatomy fan for like the duration of it as it's been on up until the last few years. So I remember the whole, scandal very vividly. And I always sort of looked at it as she was getting in trouble for sort of speaking up as like a woman, defending her friend, etc. And it getting blown out of proportion. Do you feel that it was that, or do you think that she was actually like kind of a bitch?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I honestly felt like the stuff she was saying was like a person should have every right to say if they want. And like,
yeah,
I've never been a Grey's Anatomy's girl, but I do know enough about the show that at a certain point she was like getting fucked by a ghost. True or false? Like
that was true. Well, not a ghost per se. We think
ghost dreams.
Well, it turned out she had a brain tumor.
Oh, okay. It was delusions of the
one
tumor.
Of those classic brain tumors. But it was at first, is she getting fucked by a ghost?
I mean, I think she has every right to be like, I don't really love my, for me to have won an award. Like, I don't really think what I'm doing is like that groundbreaking right now. Like, I just feel like at the time we were so kiss the ring about ceremonies and awards and A-list actors and the respect of Hollywood. And, you respect people like Tom Hanks and it's a respect. Like, it was just very like, I don't know. I was just like, this is so blown out of proportion. And then what she was like, didn't like Knocked Up isn't like a movie in her catalog that she like loves and she's not allowed to say it.
Well, and I remember when she had that quote where she basically was like, it's a sexist movie, which God loves Seth Rogen, but like it was. And he had a real strong reaction to it in a way. I don't know. I feel like if it happened today, he probably wouldn't. But it was like a pretty sexist movie.
It was completely sexist. And I just feel like they're not career ruining comments. Like for her to have been blacklisted the way she was, it was just like, wow, Shonda really just she's on one with Catherine. And like, it was more of that to me than like what she was saying was warranted. Like, yeah, I mean, she was a woman with an opinion. Like, I just was like, people have said so much worse and men have done so much worse. And that like ruined her career.
It's just crazy how anything can ruin your career as a woman. Like people are just looking for a reason to take you out. But with men, it's like, well, we're going to need videotape of the most insane, depraved actions a human can do. And we're going to need it on video and hundreds of witnesses. And then we'll consider it. We'll take it under advisement.
And even then, you might still end up in the president's cabinet. Like you might be Mel Gibson and like literally working at the White House still. You know what I mean? Like, and I just think there's something about when a woman ends up having the reputation of a bitch, like that still has so much power in Hollywood where it's like, it's just so easy to roll off the tongue to be like, well, I heard she's a bitch, or like everybody knows that she's a bitch and hard to work with.
Oh, yeah. People love. The thing is, and I think you've seen this, Troy, now that you've been spending more time in Los Angeles, is people love to have a story about like a 2 to 1 to 3 degrees of separation celebrity that they're aware of. And my God, do they trot it out at parties? And it very often is she seems nice, but actually she's a bitch.
My friend's dad works in craft services, and yeah, she went to go get something from craft services and didn't say thank you. So it's so true though. And then that story gets retold and repurposed, and then people add stuff and take stuff away, and all of it is like you said, 1 or 2 degrees separated. It is I will tell you, that has been one of the most interesting things about spending a lot of time in LA is everybody's 1 degree separation from a famous person, and the way that they hold on to it like it's they're precious.
Oh, no matter how long it's been, no matter how much that person cares about you, people will hold on to it.
It's quite interesting. It's the opposite of like in New York, everybody is they try so hard to be cool. Like it's like, they're like, I don't care about seeing celebrity. This is New York. But like they really fucking care so much. And like, you know what I mean? Like everybody's like trying so hard to act like they're above it all. Like they want to be Mary-Kate and Ashley vibes about it.
But honey, you're not. I mean,
come on.
LA is just like, God bless, filled with uncool people, like very decidedly famous people, a lot of them losers.
Yeah. Freaks,
annoying.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read the Star of Valentine, whatever that is, Katherine Heigl's allegedly embarrassing moment. Like Dara said, these are like pretty tame. Like sometimes these can go one extreme or the other. I'll never forget one that's burned into my mind of, I want to say it was like Eva Mendes talking about how she realized she was standing on some kind of platform above an audience and it was glass and she was wearing a skirt. So the whole time people were just like staring at her vagina. Stuff like that I love.
Oh, yeah. I like that. And, you know, that also happened to me once at the Liberty Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts. And someone came all the way up to the 2nd floor to alert me.
And you're still getting asked about it.
Still to this day, I'm like, please, you guys, I'm more than that one time I flashed my whole cooch to the greater Boston area.
I'm more than my blue thong.
Please.
She said, on the Roswell set, they drive us from our trailer to the stages in golf carts. One time I was sitting on the back of the cart and the assistant director who was driving hit the gas pedal really fast. And I slipped off the back of it and onto the ground. I just laid there for a minute or two. What are you going to do? You can't be cool about something like that. Okay, so she fell off a golf cart.
I'm going to need some more meat and potatoes.
Catherine, you've been in this industry for a long time, mama. I need a little bit more than that. Do you want to read Sisqo's?
This is Sisqo, Unleash the Dragon. Quote.
Yeah. Heard of him?
Heard of him. I was exhausted and I had to fly to London, so I was in a bad mood. Before I left, I said, make sure my green outfit is there. They got me the wrong green outfit. I got so pissed off, I started throwing clothes all over the room. Beyonce from Destiny's Child was standing at the door watching me. I saw her, but I knew it would look crazy if I just stopped and said, hi, Beyonce. So I kept throwing stuff. I wasn't even mad anymore. When I stopped, I wanted to explain that I wasn't crazy, but she was gone. I was so embarrassed because I think she's kind of fly. End quote. Okay, that one I actually do love.
Yeah, I do too. I leave it to Sisqo. He's my little angel. I love him.
Honestly, it's such a interesting view into his psyche. Like, I wanted to stop. I wasn't even mad anymore, but I just had to keep going.
I had to pretend to be throwing things. Can you imagine? Beyonce was like, get me away from him, get me away from him, get me away, get me away, get me away.
Also, the thought process of a man, like, no, it wouldn't look crazy if you saw that you were being witnessed and go, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Hi, Beyonce.
I will also say, for those of you who maybe don't remember Sisqo's magnetism, shall we say, please go watch him perform at the VMAs. Like, please right now pause this podcast, go to youtube.org and look at Sisqo perform at the VMAs. He is a firecracker little insane fucker. Like, he does like one-legged back flips over and over, and he's so tiny that he just like pops and locks and glides all over the stage. Like, that man was really fun. Like, he was like a fun person to be famous for one summer.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't kind of keep going for longer, or that he didn't transition better into movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little cutie and Get Over It.
He was, with his little sundial stomach tattoo and his belly ring.
Oh,
I know. So gay. Allegedly.
allegedly. Allonge. And now to the event that I've been waiting for personally. Page 91, Keeping the Faith with Miss Julie from The Real World. Julie, I mean, gosh, you don't even need to know the last name. She's Julie.
That's so funny. She really is one of the only like one name people from. Yeah, she's Julie. Like,
She's Julie. Now, this article comes out a bit after Real World Road Rules Challenge, her appearance on that, which was after Real World New Orleans. And, you know, the news is broken to all of us that she has been suspended from BYU for appearing on The Real World. And she has dyed her hair red because, I mean, she is breaking free in every way possible from her Mormon shackles. And one of those things is like, I don't know, Diet Coke and hair dye. She's still a virgin, though, which she reiterates in this article. Troy, did you watch Real World New Orleans when it was on?
I did. I watched it because my mom watched it, and my mom like got me into reality TV. I will say, like, as far as like core memories go, I definitely remember Real World New Orleans, but like we were so young. And I would say when they went back to New Orleans again later, which is where we had like Jimmy and Knight and like that whole crew. And I remember that a little bit more viscerally just because I was older. But this is like Real World New Orleans is probably one of my earliest like reality TV memories. And I just remember like learning about what it meant to be a Mormon because of this young lady and just like what all that means and all the stuff that she didn't know and how sheltered she was. And I mean, I don't know. It was just like really mind blowing to me. And it kind of like, it filled in a lot of gaps for me because I wasn't raised religious.
Yeah.
So seeing people like this on The Real World was like, as shocking as it was for her to be in a house with a black person, it was as shocking for me to see what religious people live like.
Yeah. The first Real World that I remember is Seattle, which is even earlier than this, which I don't have visceral memories of except for like Lupus and Irene getting slapped, which like who doesn't remember that? Like that's all you need. But then New Orleans was just visceral memories. I feel as though that I modeled most of my personality off of Melissa. And the friendship of Melissa and Julie was something I was just very, very much obsessed with. And their falling out was detrimental to me. But I feel like the reason why I was so obsessed with their friendship and so obsessed with Julie and Melissa is I actually had a bunch of born again Christian friends in school. And I was sort of the Melissa to them.
Okay.
I was an exotic Jewess. So I was very used to having a friend that like was extremely sheltered and, you know, thought potentially I was going to hell and all of our friends. So I think maybe I thought that was sort of interesting. But yeah, I love that season. I mean, I brought us Come On Be My Baby Tonight.
Yeah, it's so true. It really was like a huge, I think, moment for The Real World too. Like, as far as those early seasons go, this was such a major, and to be honest, I think Julie played a big part in that. Like, I think people being like angry at her and like hating her, but also being so interested in like watching her learn about the real world. She kind of embodied what the show meant. Like, you know, the purpose of it was like, so to watch people like her be a fish out of water and experience all these things. Same thing with like Tanya. You know, like I think people forget that Miss Walla Walla Washington had never been friends with a black person. And like, you know, she was so sheltered and so judgmental and, you know, so homophobic. And I think in a weird way, we used to look at characters on reality shows like that so differently than we do now. back then it was like we almost got more endeared to them because of the journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think there's something to watching a person grow and seeing how someone's opinion can change and worldview can change if you just are forced to spend time with them and have some amount of patience to talk about things with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I would suggest like hanging out with some ignorant slut and trying to change their mind.
Yeah.
But within the context of the real world, it was really interesting to watch.
It was, especially during a time when like you didn't have the internet to connect you with like weird people that weren't like you.
Yeah.
So it really felt like you could feel the weight of all these weird people being in a room together and like not knowing how to interact with each other. It just felt a little bit more heavy.
Yeah. And, God, I so miss that era of real world. Like Troy and I had been discussing that I may or may not would apply to be on Big Brother until I learned about the apparent slop week. I've never really watched Big Brother. I was like, this might be my show that I could try out for. Heard about slop week. I got a very, very testy tummy. That won't work. But I would give anything to just be on early real world where it's like we're working in the newsroom and we have our weekly show and we all have a little job and we just have to coexist with people who are different. Oh my God.
And like be yourself and be entertaining and funny. Like, yeah, a dream.
And like triple kiss in a hot tub. I'm in.
Yeah, especially post Vegas. Like for me, I watched all of the Real World seasons up to that point. But like when Las Vegas happened, it was like, okay, this is like not really something I want to do. It's something I need to do. It is in the stars for me. Like, I will not know true happiness. It is my divine. Like, I have to be on the real world. Like, Las Vegas changed everything. It became so tawdry. But yeah, I do. There's something about those earlier seasons, though, that are just so simple and like docuseries style, like Gonzo style filming. It's just like, you know, like I love it.
Yeah. And I wish that they, meaning the powers that be, that we could get back to that a little more because I don't know. I just don't think we need all the bells and whistles for things to be interesting. Did you watch the New Orleans reunion series?
I watched clips of it, but I didn't see the whole thing.
Oh my God, Troy. It was an example of, you know, you don't have to have a lot of bells and whistles for things to be interesting. I loved it. It was so good. And it was pretty much because Julie lost her goddamn mind.
As she does.
As she's wont to do. But she was like trying to give her husband a hand job, like in the middle of the living room. Like she was doing kooky ass shit. She was just being herself and making people uncomfortable. And it was like, that's actually all we need.
Yeah, I think people really, especially right now with reality TV, they crave authenticity. I mean, the way that a Bravo fan will hold on to a moment of fourth wall breaking. And we love that because it feels so authentic, you know, and like the more raw a moment feels on reality TV now, like those are the moments that we just like love. And it would be so easy to just, you know, make a show where that's what it's about and not so much like casting the villain and casting the slut and all that stuff. Like just let people kind of shake out. You know, people are weird. Like
people
let people be weird.
So weird.
Let them be weird on their own. They don't need to be directed. And I will say, because you mentioned earlier that this article was written after she had done the challenge, and my most visceral memory of Julie, and I'm not going to say I'm not reinventing the wheel with this statement. A lot of people feel this way, was her trying to unlock Veronica's harness on the challenge and like plummet her to her death.
That was like, Troy.
That's a defining moment for the challenge, for the real world, for Julie, for Veronica. Like that moment where she literally toyed with killing her castmate on camera is like, I was like, oh, she's really that crazy kooky Kukana banana girl.
Troy, I totally forgot about that. Oh my God. Yeah. In this article, they say she talks about how she's like, I went a little crazy on the challenge. She doesn't really delve into the nuts and the bolts of it, though. Oh, actually, wait. So this interview was published after she filmed the challenge, but before the challenge aired. And she says, I don't know if this will end up on the challenge, but after being suspended from BYU, I kind of went crazy. I had a little nervous breakdown because there was just too much pressure from school, from the media, from the show. And all the while, I was being filmed by a crew that wanted to catch every emotion. I would just sit on the bus and not talk with anyone. I was so rude, so competitive. I almost became a different person. I was pretty depressed for a couple of weeks, but the demanding challenges, which included bungee jumping through fire and indie-style car racing, helped me break out of my funk. They gave me something to focus on besides myself. I love that this girl is like, I don't know if they'll show this, that I kind of went crazy, but
I kind of went crazy. So just to explain for those of you who are not, because there are some people who don't watch the challenge or whatever. I don't know what you're doing. You should start at some point. But so Julie was on the challenge with this girl, Veronica. And Veronica was like almost a complete, like if Julie's on one side of the spectrum, Veronica's on the complete other. Like Veronica uses sexuality and like being flirty and like having a nice body as her mechanism to win this show. And Julie is a sexless, like Mormon sort of figuring out her life. And also the challenge used to be real mom and pop. Like now it's got like a huge budget. There's explosions. It looks like a Transformers movie, like a Michael Bay film. It used to be a couple guys rigging people on like ropes and telling them to climb a building. Like it was really, or like, let's play pie in the face, like just dumb shit. So these girls are on there. There's a wire and they're like on bungeeing basically on this building. They're really, really high in the air. They are hanging from a building. And the only thing that they have holding them on the wire is one of those like harnesses that you use when you're like a rock climber. And Julie starts trying to like rip Veronica's harness so that she plummets like from the top of a fucking skyscraper. And the cast is leaning over, screaming, begging her, please, Julie, don't do that. Don't like even play around. The producers are asking her to stop and they're in the middle of this thing. There's nothing that anybody can do. And she then starts grabbing Veronica's safety harness and violently pulling it back and forth and shaking her. Like, what the fuck? She tried to like kill somebody on TV.
And they don't make it like that anymore.
No. And Veronica is in tears. She's screaming, please help me. Somebody help me. She's crazy. What are you doing? Please stop. Like seeing somebody who actually thinks they're going to die pleading for their life is so crazy.
I remember watching that and there is no bigger like terrifying moment than when like you could fall and you have no control over it.
Oh my God. I can't even think about it. Like I actually can't even think about it.
Oh my God. That's something I have nightmares about.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, if I was Veronica afterwards,
I'd punch her in the face.
I whooped that bitch's ass.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I would never stop beating her up. They'd have to remove me because I'd beat her up every time I saw her.
Did they remove Julie from the challenge after that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of remember her going home.
Yeah. And I don't think like even the cast was like, we don't want her here. Like she tried to kill somebody. That's crazy.
I mean, this was also back when if you laid hands on another cast member, you'd be immediately sent home. And now it's like,
yeah,
well,
yeah. And let Julie tell it. I remember her being like, I wasn't really going to make her fall. Like I was just scaring her. Like I was just shaking her harness. Like nothing would have happened. And it's like, how do you know nothing would have happened? Like, what do you mean? You're not a stunt coordinator.
You're like a 21-year-old Mormon dum-dum who only went on a plane for the first time like last year.
Right. And the budget for these shows is like $40. Like those are harnessers from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
This is not like they're not used. They don't have like the Paramount budget. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Julie.
Lunatic.
True loon tune. Was that the season that Melissa was on?
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
And they like stopped being friends by the end of that, right?
Yeah, they weren't friends. And also, I think I want to say at that time, because I can always gauge it based on who Veronica's like fucking. I think at that time, Veronica was fucking, was it Wes or maybe Abram? Like, I can always gauge it by like who Veronica's like using as like her like piece of meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But before we move on from this, can you say definitively what's your favorite season is it this your favorite season of The Real World, New Orleans?
Yeah, I think it would be this. I mean, I also loved Back to New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was definitely the one that always stuck out the most for me. I think this was my favorite. And, you know, like this quote that Melissa says when she's drunk and she says to Jamie and Julie, you and me and Jamie should get in the menagerie. It's something I probably just say in my head once a week.
That's hilarious. Menagerie is such a funny word. Oh, shit. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Oh, also, do you remember hearing this? This is one thing that also sticks out of this time period when Julie's famous. And I tried to find it recently, and it's kind of like nowhere to be found. And I think it's because it was potentially a lie. But I remember there was some interview with Julie where she says that she basically she would have been on the plane during 9/11.
Yes.
And
yes.
It was like her and Melissa were in Boston. They were doing some like talk at a college. And like Melissa had already left to like wherever she was going. And then Julie was supposed to get on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But then she slept in. And she slept through 9/11.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. God, remember when people used to just say that as if it wasn't like a fact checkable thing?
Yes, Troy, this is a conversation I've had many times. Like the other one is, what's his face? Family Guy.
Oh, Seth. Yes.
Seth.
Yeah. And Pete Davidson is like, my dad literally died in the Twin Towers. Like, how dare all of you?
Yeah.
The only one with like a true story, and it's not even his story.
Almost being on the plane during 9/11, you think it's like a great lie, but it's too easy to figure out.
It's too easy to figure out. And it's like, it's something that like people will immediately squint at you. Like they want to know proof, and they'll ask you several times. And it's usually the story doesn't add up the same every time you tell it.
And like knowing Julie, it's like, oh, Julie also seems like a type of person who would fake cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And a person who would do that would also fake 9/11.
1000%. Have you ever seen that documentary about that woman that faked 9/11?
No.
Oh, there's a doc about a woman who said that she was supposed to be on the plane, or she said that she was in the tower and that she escaped, and she had this like crazy story. She was like on the Today Show and like Good Morning America, and then people started piecing together her story slowly, and it like came out that it was a complete lie, and she like became famous. It's like really good. I'll figure out the name of it.
Ooh, I love that shit.
Yeah, I do too. I love it.
Did I ever tell you about my step cousin who lied about something and ended up like on the late night circuit, and then he got found out?
What did he lie about?
Basically, he had a roofing company or something with two of his friends, and they said that they were basically in some like a abandoned house or something that they were working on, and they found all these antique coins that was worth like $1 million. And instead of just being like, well, we found this and like shutting up about it, they somehow alerted the media. And they were on like Good Morning America. They were on another something else. And then they were almost going to be on Jimmy Kimmel. They were scheduled to be on Jimmy Kimmel. And then between like right before they were supposed to go on, it was found out that actually they had found it in the house of someone that they were contracted to work on their roof. And so it actually belonged to them. And the family had no idea that it was there. So if they had just kept their mouths shut,
oh my God,
they would have like, I mean, still terrible, but like they would have like kept the money and it like no one would have been the wiser. But and
did it end up being worth money?
Yeah, it was like they were worth like $1 million. Like it was like a shitload of money. So then they had to give it, obviously they had to give it back and like go to court.
Oh, you would have had to pry the coins out of my gnarled hands.
And then Jimmy Kimmel in his monologue that evening was like, they were lying, and did a whole monologue like making fun of them.
Oh my, that is mortifying.
And that was my step
God.
cousin. Hell yeah.
Oh my God. And that's on family.
Okay. I mean, the same step cousin got arrested for stealing CDs from a Strawberry, like 20 CDs in his oversized like Janko jeans. He just was not thinking that, you know, CDs have sensors, baby.
My next question is he seeing anybody?
Ooh.
Is he single? I need me a good man. So now moving over to page 58. Lucky for us, this is an Ask Us page.
Teen to teen advice from the editors of Sex Etc. Here's a question that, you know, might hit home for a lot of you. My breasts are 2 different sizes. Am I some sort of freak? Answer. Yes.
Yeah, you little bitch. She's like, cloak yourself. Only wear baggy clothes so that people can't see your body. Be ashamed. Be embarrassed.
You deformed little chode.
You'll never be as pretty as a girl with the same breast size. She said, let's get one thing straight. You are definitely not a freak. Actually, you have lots of company. I've heard plenty of my friends complain about how one of their breasts seems bigger or smaller than the other. The funny part is, you're probably the only person who even notices it. In fact, if there's any difference at all, it may just be that the shape is not the same. Sometimes, though, because a teen's body changes at such a fast pace, one breast may grow a little more rapidly than the other. Don't worry, it's normal. Sure, it would be nice to have a magic button to fix everything that bothers us about the way we look, but hey, that's not possible. So try to accept your body the way it is. And that's Casey Wolf, 17. Very sound advice. I think that she could have at least leaned in a little bit to the fact that no woman's breasts are the same size.
Yeah, breasts are sisters, not twins, much like our eyebrows.
Yeah, like nobody has perfectly symmetrical boobs. Even if they have implants, sometimes it's rare that they're the same.
Yeah. I mean, look at like Danielle Staub's boobs.
Yeah, Franken square tits.
Yeah, I think that was cute advice. That was good. I feel like in teen magazines, my boobs are 2 different sizes was like a huge talking point.
It's a good way to like get that kind of response and that kind of answer. Like, you're going through puberty, your body's changing. It covers a lot of bases, you know?
Yeah. And also I'd love to know, like, well, can you be a little more specific? Like, how different we talking here? Do we need do we need to pad one?
Yes.
Again, accept your body the way it is, but like, I want the details.
You know, before Wendy Williams got her now very iconic implants, her boobs were massively different in size, both. And also Anna Nicole had 2 very different, like enough that it was like a noticeable thing, like a real thing. Like people would mention it and talk about it and stuff.
So that kind of goes against what Cassie was saying about no one would notice it but you.
Sorry, Cass.
You can't promise that, Cass. Sorry.
Cass got a rebuttal.
Let's see. There's also this one. I like my boyfriend, but when we do anything remotely sexual, I get freaked out and stop. I totally trust this guy. So what's the problem? Well, you're gay. You're probably gay. That's my advice. Try with a girl. See how you feel.
To quote Oprah, you are lesbian.
The real advice is there's nothing wrong. You're probably just not ready. In fact, it's good that you stop because you are uncomfortable. Have you talked with your boyfriend about your feelings? Sexual experiences are a major deal. No matter how well you know your partner, it's okay not to want to mess around. So why not just date for a while? Don't feel pressured just because it may seem like the next step, or you've heard that other people are doing it. You should make this move when it's right for you. One more thing. If by freaked out you mean you've had repeated extreme reactions, like you start shaking or get paralyzed with fear, something else might be going on with you. If this is the case, talk to your parents, a doctor or counselor, or another trusted adult. Tom Pasculi, 17. Now, I'm just realizing, like, because of this, like, heteronormative culture of this time period, that was also very anti-sex, where there are just so many girls who are like, I'm just not enjoying this sexual experience because I'm not ready. I'm just not ready.
Well, there's also too, like you said, it's like the heteronormative and also like the like this is a culture at this time that's really pushing virginity and this idea that like if you are a girl that wants to have sex before marriage, like you're a whore. But if you're a boy that wants to have sex before marriage, you're just a normal horny boy. You should be masturbating 30 times a day into socks. And as a girl, you shouldn't even think about it. So it's like, it's just interesting. Like I always think about what these, you know, teen people, I think I said this on our last issue, if Teen People was being made today, or I think I said it about Cosmo Girl, how different the advice column would be, you know, like, and even him being like, talk to a counselor about your weird feelings. It's like, or maybe you just like, this guy is like pushing you to give him, let's be honest, this guy's pushing you to fucking give him blowjobs and you're repulsed.
Or it could also be, you know, you feel bad about your two different sized tits and you're really self-conscious about it. Or, you know, what other like bodily thing, because also during this time, it's like, if anything is off with your body in any way, shape or form, guys think you're disgusting. So that can also bring a lot of anxiety as well. It's not necessarily, I'm not ready to do anything sexual.
Yeah. I want to have sex with my guy, but I'm freaked out by my freaking square tits. What do I do? Do you remember when they were at that like charity? I think it was like a dinner at like Saks Fifth Avenue that Jill Zarin set up. And Ramona went up to Kelly and she was like, so I heard you're going to get a boob job because your boobs are so weird. They're like going this way and that way and like looking this way and pointing that way. And they're so square and tiny and far apart. And like she walked up to her at a dinner party and said that before she said hi. And they're like, Ramona, you can't say that to somebody. And she's like, what? She's the one who said her boobs are weird. They go this way and that way. And they're all square and pointy and weird and tiny.
Listen, I will stand by my assessment that I think Ramona Singer is on the spectrum.
And anybody who says otherwise, cash me outside. Like literally, it is like at this point, it's fighting words. So I heard you're going to get your boobs fixed. Okay, so to close out this episode, Dara and I thought it would be important for us to read our 20-something-year-old horoscopes.
To see if they came true.
To see if they came true.
It came true.
Yeah. What sign are you again?
Well, I am a Scorpio. However, I am also an Aries rising, which back in 2001, we weren't speaking of the rising signs. We were just all sun sign. So I'll read my Scorpio and you'll read your Aries.
Okay.
Oh, and it's for his and hers. Okay. Hers. Controlling interest. This month sees you in situations where others snap to your barking orders at home and in school projects. Nothing escapes your scrutiny. In fact, you'll solve an ancient mystery involving foul play. Yet you realize that by not ratting out the guilty parties, you put them in your debt. Fabulous Scorpio, famous Scorpio, and fabulous. Ethan Hawke, 11/6/1970. I don't have any memories of solving an ancient mystery involving foul play, but it does sound like something I would do.
Wouldn't it be funny if you really literally thought back and remembered that you literally solved an ancient mystery using foul play?
It honestly, it's not out of my wheelhouse. I'll tell you that much. And
it is you.
In the discussion of barking orders centered around home and school projects, very much me. That's very me.
The person you're afraid to be in a group project with at school?
No, it was more like I was the person who would do everything.
Okay.
And I would try and be like, okay, this is what everyone's doing. But then I would be the one having to do most of it.
Yeah, I feel that.
And that hasn't happened since.
Yeah.
I'm now quite the opposite.
You've grown, darling. The Aries, his, says, all the rage. Your pop fame is the result of your being as rambunctious as you are ambitious. Still, you might want to tone it down. Friends praise your leadership, but they fear your wrath. A little too realistic. So temper, especially if you're seeking to be elected to some post or looking to rule the stud government at large. The stud government.
The stud government. Ooh.
And my famous Aries, as always, is Allison Hannigan. She's always who they name.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that my friends still feel that I should tone it down a bit and that they praise my leadership but fear my wrath. I would say that that's still something that people could say is a thing.
And I could totally see you being in charge of a stud government, just like a bunch of hot guys, and you're like, you take the minutes.
You're on the books. And you punch numbers.
Yeah, keep punching.
Yeah. My stud government is just hot guys that are really dumb and can't do anything except pretend to be smart.
Sounds good to be.
Yeah. That was fun. This is I just never want to leave the world of teen people.
Well, we have to. It's over.
Does it have to be?
It's got to be. Sorry, hun. On to the next, whatever that may be.
Yeah, this was awesome. I'm so happy that we finally got to cover this issue because, I mean, as we said last week, it's just a random magazine. There's those random magazines that just really imprint on you. It feels like they came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah. And this was one of them. I just remember each and every page so vividly. Oh, those times, those days. Oh.
When we were young.
When we were young and my breasts were two vastly different sizes before they had evened out.
When you clammed up at your boyfriend's sexual advances. Dara, why don't you speak to a guidance counselor?
Something else weird might be happening.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Thank you for being a part of the Patreon if you are. If not, and you want to see this magazine, it will be there in full, beautiful, glossy print. I mean, I think we do a pretty decent job of the scans.
Yeah. And on Patreon, we have extra long episodes, we have bonus episodes. So, go on there and say hello.
And we love you very, very much. You'll never understand or know how much until you have a child. That's when you'll figure it out. But we love you so much. And we will see you right here next week, same time, same place, or whatever.
Or maybe not the same time. We're, sometimes unreliable about
Don't
that.
hold us to that. Don't hold us to
But
that.
definitely same place and around the same time.
Exactly.
All right. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
This season on The Dream.
Supplies are being provided by nurses who run out in the middle of the night and purchase diapers, but the hospital is still charging as if they still have these items.
We are digging into every topic we've ever wanted to cover on this show.
It's a spinning plate analogy. The second that you stop spinning those plates, that crashes. So you can never stop working.
The Dream Season 4 comes at you weekly starting Monday, January 20th.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.